Hey guys, welcome back to the course. In the last video, we had created a Node.js server. Okay, if I explain you quickly what we had done first, we created a backend project. Inside that, we initialize a Node, one Node.js project like npm init-y. After that, we had created one server quickly, and inside this, we had created the API routes, and inside this, we are calling image routes, and inside that we are having a one route generate image, and inside this we are calling a generate image function. Okay, so now moving forward, what we have to do next, the next thing which we have to start working, that is called generating an image. So basically, whenever the user types something from the front end, and we have to generate a one image. To generate the image, there is a lot of ways we can generate, like to generate the image we have together model, like we can use together APIs, or you can also use replit. So if I quickly tell you about that, we are having a replit. Okay, so you can use replit as well, not this one, replit AI, I think replicate AI, my bad. This is called replicate AI, and this is also APIs. We can try it out to build, like you can use Flux model to generate an image, but I'm gonna use this one, what we call Together AI. Okay, Together AI makes much simpler to use the AI models. Okay, so I'm gonna just open the Together AI quickly. Okay, you have to just search Together AI, and after that you will get this website, Together AI, the accelerate together.ai. Okay, the AI accelerator cloud train, fine tune and run interface AI models. So we are going to use this one. And for the image generation, you can see that they are having a Flux model. Okay, and free endpoint for the SOTA, like this is a free endpoint, so that's why we are going to try this. Okay, so first of all, if you have not signed in, so just do sign in with Google or like whatever you feel comfortable. Once you do sign in, so let's suppose once you go to the here, and here you can see the API key limit, and your current balance is like this, all the things. Okay, my current balance is 0. So 60 rate, in free trial I can get the like 60 requests per minute. So like every second, in a minute I can only make a 16 requests. Okay, now let's go to the playground, and here you can see that image. So click on image. So first of all, we're gonna play this. Okay, so I'm gonna just write a generate a coder image are not stored a cache. So I just hit this enter, so it will generate a one coder image. Okay, you can see that this is the image it is generated. So if you write like any prompt, it will generate that image. You can pass the parameters as well, and you can see a different models which you can use it, like Flux. You can see that Flux, this one is free. You can also use it like if you wanted to use Flux. So this is like totally free for now. After that, you have to click on API. So you can see that there is some examples, like we're gonna use, if I click on TypeScript, you can see an example of TypeScript. Okay, so what we're gonna do, first of all, we are going to utilize a Together AI, right? So we have to install this package called Together AI. So copy this and just search on the browser Together AI. Okay, npm I Together AI. Once you search, you will get this package name. Click on this package. After that, just copy this command, go back to your Node.js project, open a new terminal, and here just hit enter. So it will install the Together AI module in your project. After that, the next thing which you have to do, you can see that we have to do these things. Okay, so for that we have to initialize together API key and so on. So let's do that, and you can see that if you wanted to use this, you can pass like client.chat.completion.create. But okay, so you can see a different, but we're gonna do that as well quickly. So let's go back to the code, and here what we have to do, first we need an API key, Together API key. Okay, so I'm gonna create one file as name as a .env here. Okay, and inside this we're gonna have a together API key. Okay, and to retry the API key, you have to go to your Together API dashboard. Okay, you have to click there, you will went to this dashboard. After that, you have to copy this API key. So I'm just adding my API key. You guys have to do sign up and add your API keys instead of mine one. Okay, Now after that, to read the .env keys in your project, you have to require another package that is called npm i.env. Okay, you have to install this package called .env to read the .env's file. Okay, now once you install this .env package, you have to import it. Okay, so you have to write require like this .env and .config like this. Okay, all right, now once you import this, let's go back to our controller where we have to write the logic to generate the image using together AI Flux model. Okay, so we are going to use this. After this, first we have to retrieve the API key. Okay, so I'm going to write const API key. Okay, so process.env dot, and what is the name of this key? It's called together API key. Copy this and let's go back here and just paste it here. Okay, I'm gonna just move this code on the top and let's go back to the Node.js, and we're gonna check one thing. I'm just gonna add a console to check that the value is reading or not. So if I add a API key, you can see that we are getting the result. Awesome. Now after this, once we get the result, we have to make a instance of this together. Okay, so we have to write what? We have to write const together is equal to what? New together. Okay, you have to require the together from the together here like this. Okay, you can write like this, I think so, like this, and you can have like this. Together is equal to const required together AI, and you have to write const together is equal to new together, and here inside this you can pass this API key. Okay, and if you wanted to move it here, you can move this API key variable here as well. Okay, now after this, once you create the together AI variable, the next thing which you have to do, we have to access the prompt. Okay, now how we can access this prompt? To access the prompt, we have to write const, and you have to write we are accessing from the body. Okay, so I'm going to write request dot body. Okay, request dot body. Okay, and after this, once we write the request dot body, here we will access the prompt. Okay, and we're gonna console this one now, prompt. Okay, and let's suppose whatever the user is typing the prompt, so we will send the prompt from the body, and we're gonna just send to the message that whatever the user is sending the prompt, we will send to the front end, like we will send to the API response. So first what we had done, we are created the .env file, we had installed this required.env.config. Inside the controller, we add initialize together SDK, and after that we are reading the prompt and consoling the prompt, and we are also sending this prompt to the front end. So let's go to the front end, and inside the body you have to open the Postman again, and inside the body click on draw, click on JSON, and inside this you have to write a prompt. In the prompt, okay, hey, generate an image of man. Okay, and let's send it. So what we can see that whatever the prompt we are sending, we are getting that. It means that our body is working perfectly, and we are getting also console. Okay, I think it's also clear, like it's easy to understand all this stuff. Okay, now after this, the next thing we have to do, we have to write the logic to generate image. Okay, we are getting the prompt, and using the prompt we have to generate the image. So we have to write let response is equal to, we have to use await, and we're gonna use together dot image. Okay, it will provide this together dot image, and we have to write dot create, and inside this we have to call this function, create function. Okay, inside this we have to pass the first parameter, that is called it will take prompt. Okay, and I can show you this example as well here in the playground. If you see this, we have to pass the prompt. Okay, and the next thing which we have to pass, that is called model. Okay, so I'm gonna just copy the model name. Okay, so let's copy the model. So I'm gonna use this free model for now. Okay, and prompt. After this, let's paste this prompt model name, And the next thing which we have to do, that is called height and width. What the height and width you want? Okay, what is the height you want? So I want this height, width will be this one, height will be this one, and disperse format will be base64 for now. Okay, so let's go back again and hit enter. Just copy and paste this code. So if you wanted to a different height, you can define that as well. Steps 4, and n is equal to 1, and response format will be base64 for now. Okay, so this is the things which we will get, and after that we get the response, and I'm gonna just send the response dot data. Okay, so whatever the prompt user will send, it will call to the together model, and we are utilizing this model, and after that we are sending to the in the response. So let's go to the postman again, and let's send the request. You can see that cannot read properties of undefined reading create. Okay, so I think we had make a mistake. So you can see that together. Okay, so cannot read properties of undefined reading create. Okay, let's check it out. So we are using await. Oh, okay. So as you know that we are passing the API's key perfectly. API key. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm gonna move this line of code, reading this variable like API key, and here we're gonna also console. Let's check it out now. Maybe what was happening, it was trying to read the env, but it was not able to access that. So let's again send this out. Again this same error coming up. Okay, so process.env.together API key. Okay, we get the prompt, and new const is equal to new together. Okay, together. Okay, and we are passing the API key process.env, and we can directly pass this variable. We can get rid of this parameter because this is doing the same things. We get the prompt, we get the together variable, together.images. My bad, the things which I was making a mistake. It should be like, I make a typo. That's why I believe I'm copy pasting instead of writing. It should be together.images, not that one. Okay, so what was doing mistake now, instead of making images, I was making image. That was causing the error. Now let's go back to the postman. Let's click send. Okay, now once I click on send, you will see that we are getting a response like this in a base64 format as well. Now if we click on send, like if we click on that, okay, my bad, we are getting this image as a base64 format. Okay, now let's check it out. Like, we are getting this data in a base64 format. Okay, can we modify this in PNG format? So I'm gonna just try one more thing. We are getting the data in a base64 format. Okay, now I'm gonna try, like, can we get this in the PNG format as well or not? So I just tried PNG. Okay, and you can see that it's just returning a base64 format. There is no PNG format which is coming up. Okay, so yeah, I think we have to use this we have to use base64 instead of any other format, I think so. Okay, let's try again JPG. Okay, this is the last time. JPG, I just hit JPG. Okay, so it is just returning a base64 format. Okay, so let's utilize this quickly. All right, so we are getting the response.data. Inside this data, it's an array. Like you can see that response.data. Okay, now what we have to do, let's return this. Let's do one thing, undo. So you can see this is the image which is coming in a JSON, base64 format. Okay, and you can't see it right now because it's a base64 format image. Okay, so to preview this image, you can utilize this on the front end as well. Like base64 has a previewer as well. But what I'm gonna think that what we can do, okay, we are getting base64 data, okay, image. Okay, so first we're gonna store to the server, we're gonna store to our storage. Okay, and we will get the image URL. We will get the image URL, and we will store it, and we will send the image URL to the front end. We will send the image URL to the front end. You got my point? Okay, so let me explain you once more. So whenever we are generating an image from the Together AI model, we are getting the response as a base64 format. Okay, now you can send this base64 format on the front end, you can preview it. But the catch is that we have to also store this data. We have to also store to the database to, for the discover purpose. So that's why whenever we are generating an image, we have to store the image to the storage and return a base64 URL. Once you get the base64 URL, you can store into the database, because it will be not a longer size. If you store this value in the base64, if you store the base64 data in your database, the data will get crashed. All right, now let's go back here. So we are getting the response. Now let's read the image. So now let's read the image. Const base 64, const base 64 image is equal to what? Response. We get the response dot data. Okay, response dot data. We're gonna use a externary as well, data, and inside this we're gonna use a zero index. So this is this, it's returning. Response dot data is an object, so we are reading a object like this object, and inside that we are calling read this object, get this one base 64 base, again let me copy this b6, okay, and get this value. Okay, this is how what I'm thinking now. Now we get the base 64. Okay, now once you get the base 64, we have to upload the base 64 image to the storage. Okay, so you can utilize any storage if you want it to be used. So I'm gonna use a Supabase storage. Okay, Supabase storage to upload these images. So for that, I'm gonna do a sign up quickly on the Supabase. So let me open a Supabase, search Supabase, and here we're gonna open the Supabase. Okay, let me explain you once more so you guys understand it. Okay, so we are getting a base 64 data image, base 64 data format image. Okay, now base 64 data format, we can send it to front end, but we want to store on the database. We want to store the image URL to the database. We cannot store base 64 data to the database. That's why we are going to store this base 64 data into the URL. Like we're gonna upload this this base 64 data to the storage, and it will return a URL, and we're gonna utilize that. All right, awesome. Now let's go to the Supabase. So Supabase, you can see Supabase is really quick, great storage, store and organize and stuff. So we're gonna utilize that. So I'm gonna just do a sign in quickly. So I just do sign in, and let's do sign up now. I think do sign up. Okay, and okay, I just click on sign up. Okay, now let me write my email and use a strong password. Okay, let's do, okay, yeah, do sign up. So I'm gonna just do a sign up quickly. Okay, it's not doing sign up quick, dude. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm gonna write quickly the password. Check your email to confirm. Okay, so let me open my Gmail, and you guys have to also do the sign up on the Supabase and confirm your email launch to the project. Okay, so we're gonna just, so this is how like we're gonna utilize the Supabase storage, and that will solve our problem. Awesome. So what we are going to do, we will create a one function which will take a base 64 format, and it will upload to the Supabase URL. Okay, so for that, what we gonna do, we gonna use one package that is called Supabase JS. Okay, meanwhile we are creating the account, we're gonna use this package, this SDK, Supabase SDK. So open this package, you can see that npm I Supabase JS. So copy this package, it will help us to achieve this whatever the functionality we wanted to achieve. Okay, so let's go to the code, and let's go back to the terminal, and here install the Supabase. Okay, let me make my terminal bigger. Let me clear the terminal, and we're gonna install this command supabase.js. Okay, so there we're gonna create one function, upload base 64 to image. We're gonna create one function, upload base 64 to image. For that, I'm gonna create another directory. The directory name will be what? It's gonna be called as a util. Okay, utils directory. Inside this, I'm gonna create one file that is called index.js. Okay, here we're gonna write const. Okay, you can see that example const create client Supabase. Okay, this is how we create a client. So first of all, I'm gonna import the I'm gonna get the client, and after that, okay, so we have to import const create client like this, and from we have to require it from where? Supabase.js. Awesome. Now after this, we're gonna write a function. We're gonna write async function. Async function, what is going to do? Async function upload base 64 to image. So it will take a parameter. It will take a base 64 URL, a base 64 data. Okay, so we can call it like for now I'm gonna call it image because base 64 will doesn't mix. Okay, let me write base 64. So it will take a base 64 data. Okay, and here we're gonna write a logic to upload this image to the Supabase, and once they upload the file in Supabase, it will return a one URL. Awesome. Now let's go back to the browser and let's confirm the email address quickly, and let's do connect. Okay, I think I make some mistake. Okay, we are able to sign in. Let's check it out. Invalid block credential. Shit, I had make some mistake, guys. Really, in quickly I was doing the mistake. I just reset the password. Like I did not enter the password correctly. So let me send reset email quickly. Accept, and yeah, we are here. Let's create a new project. This is totally behaving totally weird. Like I don't know why. Once I click on reset, like once I do login, it's what saying invalid credential, but no problem. Maybe my internet is slow for now. That's why it's weird behaving. Okay, so we are in the Supabase. So we are going to create a new project. Meanwhile, okay, so yeah, meanwhile let's wait and let's. It's really too slow, man. Okay, let me reload the page quickly. Do hard reload, and meanwhile let's code it. So first, what we're gonna do? We need three things. To create a Supabase. To create a Supabase client, create a Supabase client. Okay, so we need a three step. That the first step called Supabase URL. Okay, we will find it out from once we create the account. We also need a Supabase key. We will also get this quickly. And the next thing we want, Supabase instance, Supabase, and we get the instance by passing the create client. The first parameter is called Supabase URL, and the second parameter is called Supabase key. And let me correct this variable name, const. Okay, so we will retrieve the data from our dashboard. Let's wait to sign in. Oh, please click on the character that is used to the form word name. What the hell is it in? Please click on the character that is used to form words or name. Okay, W. Next. Please click on the character that is used to form a word or names. P word. And yeah, I think that's all. Okay, EduConnect AI. So we are just creating one new organization. My name is EduConnect AI. Create, and it's a free kind of organization. So it's creating. Now, while it's creating the project, it's quite a bit slow for the first time, I think. Okay, let me type the password as well. Okay. Now we can define an ACR, like maybe I define can Mumbai. And let's create a new project. Fail to get new project does not contain a string. Fail to create a new project. Okay, project name is not correct. We can write a name as a dream AI for now. Create new project. Okay, so it will create a project for us quickly, and here you can see that we get the API key. Okay, here you get the API URL. So let's copy this URL and Supabase URL. We're gonna paste this Supabase URL, and the Supabase key is this one. So we're gonna again copy this and we're gonna paste this like this. I know it's quite a bit time taking, but not a big deal. We get the Supabase instance done. After this, we're gonna create a setting of the project. Once if the project has been set up, we'll create a storage as well. So meanwhile, let's continue. Okay, so we have to write the first thing that is called base 64 image is equal to what? We're gonna write like this: data colon, we have to write image. So if you see on the Postman, we are getting the data like this, but base 64 image should start with data colon image slash jpeg, okay, colon base 64, okay. And after that colon, we have to define this one. What? This is called base 64 data, okay. You have to write this stuff. Basically what we are telling that, bro, initialize a base 64 image by data colon image slash jpeg, this icon, and after that base 64 comma and base 64 data, okay. And once we're done with that, we need a file name, const file name. The file name could be anything for now, but we're gonna make like this. The file name will be what? Could be anything for now. Maybe date dot. Okay, we will come up with this. Okay, let's do one thing quickly. The file name will be gonna look like this: date dot now. We're gonna use date dot now variable to generate a unique file name, and we're gonna use dash, okay, and dash, and we're gonna use make it much more great, so it will not make any issue. Math.random, and after that we're gonna write toString method, and inside this we're gonna pass a parameter like 36, and dot, we're gonna use substring of 2. Perfect, we get the file name. After this we're gonna remove the data URL prefix if present, okay. So if there is any URL, we're gonna remove that as well. So we're gonna write const base, we're gonna write another thing that is called const base 64 string is equal to what? Base 64 image dot replace. We are just replacing, we are just making a in a right manner this things. So okay, I think we don't need this parameter. Let's get rid of this. I think it's making a unnecessary stuff. So for now, sorry guys for this. Let's give it a try. What is gonna happen? But yeah, meanwhile, let's check it out. You can see that our project has been set up. Now you have to click on storage. Once you click on storage, you have to click on new bucket. Name of bucket could be what? Dream AI. It's gonna be a public bucket, okay. Now let's click on next. Once you click on next, you have to do a next thing that is called go to the policies, okay. Now inside this policy, click on new policy. Now click on create policy for full customization, and here you're gonna make a policy name will be open, something like this. We're gonna select insert, daily update, and delete. These are all the things, and bucket names, and we're gonna make it unknown, okay. It means that any user can update or delete that all the stuff, okay. And after that, click on review and click on save policy. It will create a one bucket just like S3, AWS S3, and totally open bucket, okay. Now let's go to your bucket, and after this here what we're gonna do, we're gonna write const buffer is equal to what? Buffer dot from base 64 data, my bad, base 64 data colon base 64 defining, we are just defining const buffer is equal to buffer dot from. So we are like making a buffer, and it's a quite bit hard topic. It's not easy, but yeah, we will understand this later as well. After this, we're gonna get the data, and the second parameter is called error. From await, we're gonna use Supabase instance, Supabase dot storage, and inside this storage functionality, we're gonna pass the Supabase storage dot dot from. We're gonna pass a photo, something like this. For now, what is Supabase? From will be what? Okay, let me override this from. Okay, let me again understand what is from will take. Like from will be like a from array, like an array. Okay, so I think from will be this name, this which name, I think this name, a dream AI, whatever the name is, we're gonna write. So I'm gonna just make a from will be dream AI for now, and we're gonna write dot upload dot. We're gonna use a next method that is called dot upload, and inside this we're gonna tell that bro, you have to upload inside public directory slash colon the file name and dot png. All right, and after this you're gonna have a colon, and we're gonna pass this buffer. And once we pass the buffer, we have to also define a content type, and content type will be what, image slash jpeg, like this. Okay, and once we're done with this, you can see that we are passing Supabase.storage, we are defining a bucket name dreamai, and we are telling that inside the public directory you have to use this file name .png, and you have to pass this buffer. This is the buffer, and inside this format. Okay, if there is any error come up, if there is any error, okay, so what you have to do, just throw the error. Okay, it means that we will get that error. All right, and after this we will generate a const image URL. How we gonna generate the image URL? It's really straightforward. We're gonna write Supabase URL, okay, slash storage slash v1 slash object slash public slash, we're gonna write like this, data dot full path, okay, and we're gonna console this image URL, and we're gonna return this image URL like this, and we're gonna console the error if there is any error coming up. Okay, so let me export this function as well. Module dot export is equal to upload base64 to image. So if I summarize this stuff quickly, first we are getting the create client from Supabase. We are getting a Supabase client like this. We had passed the Supabase key. We had created a Supabase instance. After that, we have uploading this base64 data to image. We are generating a unique file name to identify the file name. We are having a buffer.from. Basically, we are making a buffer base64 to the buffer to upload the file to the Supabase, and once the file get uploaded on Supabase, we are retrieving this data.fullpath and making the image URL. And if there is any error come up, so we are just throwing it out. Okay, now let's copy this function upload base60, and we are also exporting this function as well. Now let's go to the image controller, and here once we get the base64 image URL, the base64 image, we're gonna get the image URL will be await, and we're gonna paste the function name, and we're gonna import this from the util. So if I show you on the top, we are importing the upload base64 to image from requires utils, and this function will need what, base64 image. Okay, and let's console the image URL here as well, undo, and let's console the image URL. Okay, and let's see does it really works or breaking. There's some stuff, so I just going to hit okay. Also, and here we're gonna pass the image message will be image URL, and let's go to the postman and let's click on send request. Once I click on send request, you can see that request is happening, and we get the nothing 200. Okay, you can see that we got the error that Supabase.storage is not a function. Okay, now let's go to the upload base64, and where we are having a Supabase.storage. Okay, so let's go to the browser and let's search Supabase.storage. Okay, and we are getting nothing example for Supabase storage here. Okay, so let's go back to the code, and here let me see, we are requiring Supabase/Supabase.js. We are getting the create client. We are passing the create client. We are having a Supabase. Okay, and after that we are having await Supabase.storage STOI. Okay, and what's baking? I'm also confused. Okay, Supabase and Supabase key URL client option. I'm just checking out storage key storage. We are having a storage road. Okay, let's go back again. Why it's like breaking? Okay, so we are passing this Supabase URL. This is also correct, right? Because we are having a Supabase URL.co we are having a Supabase key as well, which we are having here right now. Inside this, we are having a create client, which we are importing from, which we are requiring from the Supabase JS. After this, Supabase URL, Supabase key, const file name. This is also correct. And after this, const data error, we are having Supabase.storage. Oh my god. Okay, I got it. So a mistake is what I was doing. Supabase dot, it's not a function. Storage is not a function. You have to call like this. Supabase dot storage. Okay, that mistake I was doing it out. Now let's go back to the Postman again, and let's hit and just send. Okay, so I just hit send. Let's check it out. So we are getting empty object. We are getting nothing, and we are getting that JWT is malformed. Okay, the JWT, which the token which you're sending, is a malform. So I think we are making a mistake here. Supabase key, let's go back to the browser and let's check it out the keys. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the dashboard and let's click on this project, and the Supabase key will be this one. Oh my gosh. So I was making a mistake. I was using a JWT token. It should be this one, Supabase key. Oh, why I'm doing silly mistake. So we're gonna replace this, we're gonna remove this, and we're gonna add this API key, and this is a mistake which I was doing it up. Okay, now let's try once more. Generate. Okay, now let's see. Oh awesome, man, we are able to see one image URL, and now let's click on enter, and you can see that it's a generate an image of a man, which is really looking great, right? And you can see that we get the image URL. Okay, now if you see, okay, let me show you one more thing. So we are hitting this function, right? We are hitting this function generate image. We are hitting a prompt like generate image of man. We get this image URL, and this image, if I show you from Supabase storage as well. So let's go to this bucket and let me reload this. So I'm going to click on reload. You can see that inside we are created one public directory, and inside this we are having this person, and this image is also uploaded on the Supabase, which is really crazy, right guys? And our API is also working perfect way. But instead of sending on a, okay, so let me go back to the controller, and inside this controller, instead of sending an email message, we're gonna send an image URL, right? So let me update this parameter image URL. All right, now let's go back, and if we understand this all this stuff quickly, like I think it's really straightforward. So let me summarize this stuff quickly, all the things one by one quickly. I know I waste some lot of times for you guys, but I know it's gonna make us worth it for you guys. So let's get it started from the, let's understand from the beginning. So we had created a Node.js project. Inside that we are having an image route, and we are having a generate image route, and inside that we are having a controller that is called generate image controller. Inside this we are using a together AI SDK. We are passing the API key. We get the prompt from the front end, and we get the we are using together.images.create. We are defining a prompt, model, height, width. You can define a custom height and width, and the response format which we are getting, that is called base64 data. So we get the base64 data. Now the catch is that if you wanted to store on the database, like this, basically inside the discover screen on the app. So if I see you on the app here, we wanted to show all the generated image history on the discover screen. Okay, to show that we need to store that database on, we need to store that data on the database level, right? To store that all the data on the database level, what we have to, we can store in the database only the image URL, not base64 data. To store that, first we have to upload the image to the any bucket. So we are using Supabase storage bucket, and we had already seen that. Okay, so I had created one function that is called upload base64 to image. Okay, so it's upload base64 data to the image format. So first we are getting the file name. We are generating a unique file name using the date.now, mat.random, .toString. Like it will generate a really unique name. Like if I show you on the browser, you can see that how unique name is like generating it up, right? Now let's go back. So after that we are generating a buffer. So using this base64 data, we are generating a buffer, and we are passing this buffer to the Supabase storage. Okay, Supabase.storage, and we have in the form will be a dream AI, like whatever the bucket name, you have to define the bucket name and upload. So what directory you want to upload, like if you wanted to upload in current directory, you can define a directly current directory, and I also wanted to store in the public directory, so that's why I define a public directory, and I'm passing the buffer, and I'm defining a content type. The content type is like image/jpg. If there is any error come up, just throw error. And after that, once we upload this buffer, once we upload the base64 data to the Supabase, we are generating one image URL using the Supabase storage slash v1 slash object slash public, and we are passing the data.full path. Okay, and once we upload the image to the Supabase, we are returning this image URL to the backend, to the back to the function here, and we get the image URL, and we are just sending it into the response to the postman as you are getting. Now let's try another prompt. Generate an image of Iron Man. Okay, my favorite man. Now let's click enter, hit enter. So you can see that what we do, it is like generating image from Flux model, and let's copy the image URL, copy, and if we go to the here on the Supabase, reload this, so you can see that there will be one more image will be added here. You can see that this image is generated just now, and we also had got the URL. So let me paste that URL. Okay, I did not get the URL. Okay, let's click on this. You can see that this is the image is generated by that Flux model. This is really crazy, guys. This is looking really realistic, right? So yeah, so what we had done, we had done with this generating in this session, we are done with this together AI model, generate image with together AI model, and uploading image to base 64 data to image URL at Supabase. I know you guys had learned really great things. So also there's one more request from you guys. Please visit Zero Day Coder and please buy any courses, like if you feel really worth it. And if you have any feedback, just let me know on my email or my phone number, anything, that would be great. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye.